So I mean, we touched a little bit on domestic violence, right? A little bit there. Why do you think women stay there? Why do they stay in those relationships?
Yes. Why do women stay for getting an ass whooping?
It's an unfortunately I'll be honest, it's actually kind of interesting because there's a name to it. It's the cycle of violence.
Mm.
Is it what?
It's called the cycle of violence. That's something
Okay.
that gets taught in psychology, and it's just literally 3 steps. It's not even that complicated, right? Where
Yeah.
you have step one, which is there's increased tension in the relationship. There's starting to be, like you feel it. It gets to the point where the person gets to the point that they explode and hit you, domestic violence, abuse, and then immediately step three is kiss and make up.
The care.
The care, the love. I'm sorry, I'll never do that again. I'm sorry. And then it starts over. The tension starts to build back up. They get back to getting abused. And then, oh, I love you. I'm so sorry.
You think it's like a rush at the end, like that part where you're coming back and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, that
you,
feels
you
so
caught
good.
it perfectly. It's
Mhm.
addicting.
Yeah.
And you know why I know for a fact that besides obviously reading about it,
Yeah.
seeing it, because when we get these women out of these relationships, it's the saddest thing because they're going to therapy, they're working on themselves, they get with the good guy, and every freaking time without fail what they say when they meet a good guy that treats them well.
You're too nice.
You're too, no, well, it's a version.
I just don't love him.
That's part of it. No, literally, those two I've heard. But the single, most common phrase I hear, he's boring.
Ooh, he's boring.
Such a
See,
big
so
word.
an ass whooping does.
If I
go a
never
long
told you
way.
that.
You're just like,
Oh, Gabby.
He's boring. Boring. Well, you know what? You gotta understand. They've been at the edge of their seats all of their marriage
know.
life. They're like, "Oh my God, he's gonna beat me right now." Ooh, today's not an ass
Oh
whooping.
my gosh,
I mean-
Steve, that's horrible.
Freaking Richard.
Me caes gordo a veces.
¿Por qué?
A veces,
But, okay, can you
chinga.
imagine going through that adrenaline rush
No,
to
I don't want
No,
to.
no,
Let's
I
see,
don't-
nothing to nothing?
But
to,
see, but that's exactly what your mom was saying.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
the part that when he didn't do it is
yes, that's when
felt
she felt like
yeah,
he
he
didn't
didn't
love
love
her
me.
yeah.
anymore.
That's-
Like, oh, that's it.
that's
It's the end
insane.
now.
That's true. And the sad part
know?
too is that you attach really unhealthily to that person. I remember reading this thing about it was talking about domestic violence, and then it talked about this study about puppies. I'm like, what the hell? Like talking about I'm reading on domestic violence, it starts talking about puppies of the study, but basically they had 3 puppies and they had the researchers treat the puppies differently. So 3 groups of puppies, 1, 2, 3. The first group, the researcher was just nice to them. Nothing but positive, love you, treats, all that stuff. The second, all negative. They would push the dog, they would just treat him badly. And the third one was a mix of nice and mean. But there was no schedule for it, just random nice, random mean. Do you know which puppy was the most overly attached to that researcher? It was the third one. It was the one that was mistreated, but also treated nicely randomly. Those were the puppies that got unhealthily attached. They did not want to leave that researcher's side.
Wow.
you created a dependency
Mhm.
on that
Mm-hmm.
because it's so bad, but then it's so good.
You hook them.
It feels
You were
so
joking of you
nice.
manipulate her.
Mhm.
Your daughter with the iPad, right?
Yeah.
They manipulate with that love. Like that's the
Yeah.
carrot. That's the
Yeah, the carrot that they're hanging there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a word. Crazy.
So yeah, there's a lot to it.
That's
So when,
scary.
Right, so ass whoopings are coming.
like when these kind of things happen, right? Does that also produce women that say, "I don't need no man"?
Right.
What?
Like
'Cause
they're overly
that-
independent.
Now they're
right?
overly independent because it's
Yeah.
that they've also gone through something like that, and now they're like, "I don't need no man to be. I don't want to be in that. I'd rather not have a man.
Uh-huh.
I'd rather be by myself."
Okay.
Mhm.
Because that can happen too.
Yeah.
You can just go full hard one way and then completely turn 180 and go the other way.
Yeah.
And now you're like, I'm on my own forever.
Mhm.
But then they have that little attitude where
Yeah.
I don't need you.
Well, then she needs to justify it, right? Because it's sad. We all need somebody. But how do I
Companionship.
justify this? By going, I don't need no man. I can do it myself. Yeah, we can all do it by ourselves. But you don't
I don't
need a
want
man
to.
because you don't want a man because you can't get a man.
I mean,
Really hot chicks that are fucking going on.
We're not talking about
Okay,
hot
guys,
chicks.
like-
We're talking about mediocre ones. Okay
As a
ones. That's who
mediocre
we talk
by
about when
herself.
we're here.
Okay. Well, but I don't think I personally have the belief that not everybody needs to be with somebody. I think that if you're okay just being
Mhm.
single and you could be single and happy. And I just think we're in an age where women are so financially independent. They get their careers. They do a lot of things. So I think for them, they're just like, I don't need to have I don't need a man to complete me. And I don't think it should be that way anyways, right? You know, I think it should be something that you find somebody and great, you're compatible. But I just, I think as far as like abusive, like behaviors and staying in a relationship, I think a lot of times those girls that are in those relationships have had abuse in the past, like whether they were in children or they even saw that in their home, and so it just is normal, and you do create an unhealthy like dependency on that person.
Knowing that you do come from an abusive relationship where you do know that you are saying things like, I don't need a man. I can do this on my own. Shouldn't that be the red flags to go, no, you know what? I should go talk to somebody.
Agreed.
Because I'm saying this because I went through a very difficult relationship, and now I'm thinking this way. This is unhealthy. I should go talk to somebody, because we should all want to be with each other. We should all want to interact with each other. You should want to go on dates and meet people. That's not normal for you to say, I want to be alone. Fuck, man, I can do it on my own.
Well, that's a different. Yeah, that's a
Well, talk to somebody. You shouldn't be saying that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I get it. Like, there's an extreme. The chip on the shoulder. I was screwed over so many times. Yeah, you should go to therapy.
Yeah.
And Anna Kendrick talked about that. She was in a abusive relationship for 7 years. The actress,
Really?
and she's like, I went to therapy.
Yes.
Good for her.
Wow.
Yeah, she just came out with that. So
Licensed though, right? Like Irvin?
I think so. She could afford it.
Just to confirm.
Just to confirm.
Is there any way of bootlegging this? Like, can people do like have bootleg like therapy companies?
Oh, yeah.
Because I can just go to
Oh,
a
dude,
shopping center and
I
open
think I
up my
would be good
clinic.
at that. I think I would be good at having a book. I could be good at that.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what. every
yeah.
Just
crazy
become a
person
therapist.
says.
You know what? I lied to my daughter about Santa Claus and the elf so many times. I'm pretty good.
Oh my God.
She has it
You
down,
know?
man.
But she knows now.
Wow.
But he's not a liar.
Oh,
He's actually helping people.
it's true. That's true. That's totally different.
It's totally different.